Hey, everybody! Welcome to an all new movie review. I am your friendly neighborhood super Negro, Anthony Sterling here. And yes, before we start this movie review, make sure you hit that red subscribe button, blue thumbs up, and hit that bell and turn your notifications to all so you'll be notified when I drop a new movie review, Geek Table Talk, or any other crazy video I decide to put on the channel. Now, with that being said, I have finally seen the 2021 horror film. The film stars Yahya Abdul-Mateen II, Teyonah Parris, Nathan Stewart-Jarrett, Colemen Domingo, and a return of the lovely Vanessa Williams, who was in the original film, and a diverse cast of victims. Directed by Nia DaCosta, this is a sequel to the 1992 film of the same name, Candyman. Thought I was going to try and say that 5 times, huh? I don't play that game. This time, it goes back, but now to a newly gentrified Cabrini Green, which the buildings are gone, but the neighborhood is definitely becoming gentrified and showing change. And this is where the legend begins again. So now it's time to get to the meat and potatoes of this thing, the review itself. Does this movie work? Is it a horror masterpiece? Or is it just yeah, they made it cool. All right, so I'll give you the good, I'll give you the bad, and then I'll leave it up to you to see if you should check it out. Now, let's just start off with the good, the cast. The cast was spot on good, okay? Any movie or show you put Colemen Domingo in, let me tell you something. That brother can act his way through a paper bag. He can act his way in a paper bag. He can act. The brother is just that good. Now, he is a supporting actor in this movie, but the scenes he was in, it just gravitates towards him. It's his demeanor, it's his look, it's his voice. It's just commanding, and it chews up scenery every time he's on the screen, okay? Yahya Abdul-Mateen II. He is the new version of Black Cool. I really enjoy the movies and shows he's been in, from Watchmen to hell, I actually enjoyed him in Aquaman, and Aquaman was an okay film, but he was actually really good. And the fact that now he's gonna be young Morpheus in the next Matrix film, the brother is definitely on a roll, and on a roll he shall stay. His role of Anthony McCoy, there are moments you are kind of like, he's a jerk. But at the same time, I understand he's an artist. Like, he really does play the up and coming artist or the well-known artist pretty damn well. There were moments I thought he was kind of, I'd say a jerk, but he was a little self-centered in a lot of ways. He came in as being self-centered, but there's a reason for that. We'll get into that as we talk about the story. Teyonah Parris, come on, y'all. It's Teyonah Parris. You can't go wrong with Teyonah Parris. I'm gonna say her name. Maybe I should say her name 5 times and she'll just miraculously pop up. Hopefully not kill me, but I wouldn't mind. Now, this is my first introduction to Nathan Stewart-Jarrett, okay? I've never seen anything with him in it. I could look on IMDb and see his film credits, but this is my introduction to him.
Well, looks like I was wrong, and I was introduced to Nathan Stewart-Jarrett before. As I was looking through his IMDb film list, he starred in the BBC series Misfits. I'll be damned. And that was a show that I watch religiously. Oh well, just means I'm getting old. And now, back to the review.
And just like Colemen Domingo, every time he's on the screen, he chews up the scenery. He makes the scene his own. He is the comic relief, but he's not gesturous. He's not like a court jester. He's not a buffoon about it. He's just this regular dude who he plays the brother of Teyonah Parris's character, and you can see him being the I'm going to whoop some ass kind of cat. So he plays that well, and it's not buffoonery at all. And then we have the return of Vanessa Williams. I'm not talking about the right stuff, former beauty queen, ex-Playboy model, just Vanessa Williams. I'm talking about the other Vanessa Williams. Whew, that lovely, lovely woman herself. She was in the original Candyman back in '92, and she plays a very significant part in this film. I'm gonna try not to spoil it, but I did say it's a sequel from the '92 film. So if you've seen the '92 film, you'll automatically know who she is. Now, the story itself / script. I thought the script was really well done. Now, I'm not a script writer. I can write commercials, but that's for local businesses. I am not a master of the pen, but I think it worked. It really, really worked. It kept the spirit of the original film. Now, don't get me wrong. Candyman has 2 other films, Farewell to the Flesh and Day of the Dead. Now those they go on a different path, but this one here is, I would say, a more direct sequel to the original. Like, it is like this. It's latched in. You cannot separate them, right? The social commentary in here is the horror. Jordan Peele is one of the executive producers, so yes, it does have that Get Out, Us social commentary, life is horror aspect, which, come on, that's pretty much every horror film you'll ever see. Even though they have monsters, the monsters can be used for real live human beings. Think about that. What's good about this one is, now, since Cabrini Green and the neighborhood is being gentrified, you get to see what the real horror is. And it's not Candyman. It's complacency. It's just an overall, laissez-faire, let it go. We got rid of the bad stuff. We got rid of the hood. We got rid of the projects. And now it's just sunshine and rainbows, because the whites are coming, and with whites come green. And that doesn't necessarily mean it's all going to be a great thing, because with gentrification comes a complete and total erasure of culture, a complete and total erasure of people, a complete and total evisceration of just society itself, a certain society. And that's the fear of it all, right? Candyman this time is more of a generational curse than it is just the boogeyman. But the boogeyman is really just systematic change. This movie got some creep factor to it, okay? This is the one thing I love about how Nia DaCosta got this story going. And this is no spoiler, ladies and gentlemen. You see it in the trailers. The first appearance of Candyman, the guy that's coming out of the hole in the wall. This brother was creepy turned up to 11. I was watching it, and it is hard to scare me in horror films because usually I'm just laughing and chuckling along. But the way they shot him slinking out of that hole, and the way he presented himself, and his movements and mannerisms, and that smile, shoot his black ass on sight. And that goes to the beauty of the cinematography, the way every scene was shot. From the close-ups, there were some extreme close-ups of Anthony as he goes through his changes. I'm not gonna give too much of the plot away because, like I said, spoiler free. But the changes he goes through, the close-ups of his body and face, the close-ups of the art, the close-ups of just basic conversations between him and Teyonah Parris were just so beautifully done, but yet very unnerving. But here's the thing that I liked about the cinematography. When it came to them killings, it was never up close and personal. It made you feel like you were truly a spectator to these deaths, right? One in particular that I actually enjoyed was the one that's in the trailer with the schoolgirls. And they're making a joke, because once again, like I said, this movie is more about the wiping out of a culture and the how can I put it in a so much better way? The appropriation of a culture, to be honest. It's kind of weird, because Candyman is supposed to be this urban legend, this urban myth. And then when you see folks who are not of that neighborhood, of that culture, of that story, making fun of it, and then getting their just desserts, you love to see it. While it's a R-rated film and it's a horror film, it's not as gruesome as I thought it would be, but the original, in some cases, wasn't as gruesome as you think it would be. It's supposed to be a dude with a hook for a hand, right? So the whole thing is that he goes from groin to gullet. That was the whole thing, especially if you watch Candyman Farewell to the Flesh. That was the whole concept. He would use his hook and stab you from the groin to your gullet. Shit like that, right? But just because you don't see it, don't mean it ain't visceral and it ain't disturbing and it's not unnerving, because it really is. And that's due to the sound effects, because oh my goodness, every time hook hit flesh, bone break, bone rip, whatever, you heard it, you felt it, you did not want to see it. And that's the beauty. And that's, I have to give kudos to the cinematographer and the director, Nia DaCosta, for doing what they did and making those choices, along with the editor, because the editing was actually really good. Now we're going to get into the bad about this movie. There really wasn't much bad, to be honest with you, in my opinion. But for me, the pacing of the movie was sort of off-putting a little bit. And keep in mind, Candyman's really short. This is a short film. This movie really is only, I believe, a little over 90 minutes, So I'm thinking that Nia DaCosta, along with the editors in the studio, were like, let's see if we could do a full, complete story in 90 minutes, maybe a little over 90 minutes or less. And he did. But the pacing of it was kind of, okay, it was like a roller coaster. It would move pretty fast, and then it would just really take its time going up the hill. And I don't know why I keep using my fist here. Maybe it's because I think I have a hook for a hand. But it really was a slow burn, raging flame, slow burn, slow burn, slow burn, raging flame. And that kind of got me out of it for a little bit. The moments where I was supposed to really concentrate on the dialogue, I can multitask. I was talking with my friend that came with me to see it, and I was like, oh yeah. And they were asking me, well, is this like the original movie? Is this like the, so I had to give a little history lesson, but I could still hear. And it kind of went on this, yeah, right, got it. We know it's bad. Let's keep moving. Get to the, get to the nitty gritty of it all. But when it gets to it, it gets to it. But it's going to take its time to get there, and that's sometimes a blessing and a curse. Before I let you know the verdict, should you go see this film? Should you take your time and give it a watch? First, want to say congratulations to the director, Miss Nia DaCosta, for becoming the first Black woman to direct the film that opens #1 at the box office. Hey, kudos. Golf clap. But once again, you got to ask yourself, why are we now just celebrating this in 2021? And now, the verdict. Should you take some time to go see Candyman? Question is, before I tell you, did I say his name 5 times already? Well. Yes. Now, in the climate we are in, because we are still in a broken Panasonic tape deck, and we are not moving and grooving like we're supposed to. Is it worth it? If you live in an area that is not hard hit with the Delta variant or any variant, because we all know these variants are taking people out like Sophie and Loki, I would say support your local theater and go see this movie, okay? You're going to have an enjoyable time. Now, like I said in the bad, the pacing of the movie might be a little jarring because it gets to this raging fire and then it's this really long, slow burn before we get to the next big raging flame. But the story is captivating. It will make you think. It'll make you look at things a little different. And the beauty of it is, the way the story is, it opens up to a much bigger story. Think of generational curses, ladies and gentlemen. Generational curses. Story's much bigger than one person, one set point in time. Think about that. So yes, go see Candyman. If you don't want to see it in the theaters, when it gets on demand, pay the change. Just go see it. Whether you're at the theater or at home, you are going to enjoy this. And if you don't, hey, in the comments, let me know. Tell me I'm wrong. I'm okay with that. Sometimes, even when I'm wrong, I'm wrong. That's it. You made it to the end of the review. Kudos to you. So ladies and gentlemen, before you go, please hit that red subscribe button. It'll only take a second. Blue thumbs up. Blue thumbs are always cool. And hit the bell and turn your notifications to all so you, yes, you will be notified every time I drop a brand new movie review, Geek Table Talk, or any other crazy video that I decide to do to put on this YouTube page. With that being said, I want to say thank you for watching. But before we go, you know the drill. We are still in a pandemic, ladies and gentlemen. So make sure you wash your hands, wash your feet, definitely wash your ass. Because a lot of y'all are coming outside thinking you could just come out au natural, and you are au natural wrong. Wear a mask, get vaccinated, take care of those you love, and take care of those you don't. I know it's a crazy request.